coming into what could potentially be a rematch against MIBR should they take this series.
Yeah, I feel like luchov is when you have to really rally around. I do agree. I think the two newest additions for each team, being Naz and being Chay, are two to watch. I really liked Chay's lurks in towards lobby on Nuke, for example, and on top of lobby. So we'll have to see if that can continue into this series, because that will be map number 2. However, we've done enough pontificating, as Boggs would say. We've done enough conjecture. It's time to actually put substance to the speak. It's time for the game to get started. Fluxo versus BESTIA. Map number 1, the pick of BESTIA. It is Inferno. There's no double dualies for either team. It's instead utility heavy and reliant for both squads. A set of utility, smokes, flashes, and a Molotov for BESTIA. Smoke nade, smoke flash kit for Fluxo. That means no P250 super soldiers either to be spoken of.
Yeah, no super soldiers, no upgraded pistols in general. I mean, with the Glocks and the close range angles of Inferno, the new Inferno, because we already had the new Inferno back in like 2016, 2017. You can really get away with the Glocks here on the T side. I would have liked to see a pair of dualies out for the CTs, but the utility does make sense for the stall, just like that. And now luchov taking advantage of the lack of info towards mid, pushing up from behind. There is a tentative watch, but now it's left, and Naz gets domed from behind. He'll try and face. There's tomaszin to return fire and frags. 2 more down bottom middle. Zevi goes 1 for 1. Chay dinked as well, retreating. Has support from PKL, or from VSM rather. Instead, Chay though does get mowed down. VSM waiting around. Hits 2 headshots. Gets dinked and has to back away. PKL on the long rotation. All the way around through CT. luchov into under. We'll put the final nail in that coffin, the bomb. In his possession now, 27 seconds to go, and PKL has already made the right rotation. Doesn't have a kit, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. It's going to come down to fights here and to timing, unless PKL just all of a sudden books it to B, which luchov might be able to hear. I believe PKL's too far to hear. Yeah, there's no way PKL hears this. luchov has just got a massive break as PKL big-brained himself.
Overthinking. And stick on the site he's at. I'll have to double back. He did at least grab that kit on rotation. That was down towards top stairs of T-spawn. He has that now. The steps, though, were they heard? It seems like luchov has heard something because he's rotating up and around towards cold box. Still watching Arch, though. Still paranoid. It's going to be all on timing here. Walk in for PKL. Doesn't even clear the corner. He doesn't give it respect. And that is his undoing. luchov, a free one on the player jumping by. BESTIA steal away a pistol, and again, Fluxo showing a lot of intricacy in their pistol round strats, and it is their undoing in the end.
Too many moving parts for Fluxo. I liked the mid push, but after you get that first kill, or maybe even that second kill, back away. Don't stick around and fight. And that was a problem for Fluxo against MIBR as well. Over-aggressing. Fighting where they didn't need to. And that's reared its head very early against BESTIA now on the Argentine map pick. Fluxo going in with the 4 spy, double scouts, double 5.7s, and the deagle for VSM. The 2 scouts is interesting. There's quite a bit of extracurricular damage that can be done with the 5.7s and the deagle. But 2 scouts on Inferno of all things is not something you normally see. Very heavy on the tag and bag, as you can see Zevi's not even aiming for the head, he's aiming for the body shot. Gets taken down by luchov, but there's that body shot, the damage that they're looking for. I'm sure that AK for luchov is going to get tossed over to one of the 2 MAC-10s there. It already gets swapped over to Noxy. And so now, BESTIA content to work around with their man advantage. They're not rushing anything. And it doesn't look like they're overthinking anything either. They got that pick towards B, they fall away, back they go, leave their lurk. I'm liking the setup.
And 2, and the lurk is pulling over rotations entirely. PKL luchov rotating over as a unit, leaving just 1. Marooned on the back of B. There's no escape for Chay. If they peek him, he's donezo. He'll get 1 at most, and then he'll be boxed in. Spam through the smoke, good for damage onto luchov. Can't quite finish off what that scout started, though. Chay swinging in, does find 1, but as I mentioned, now Maroon's back inside, trying to Alamo out. He will find a second before the nade sends him spiraling. That gives his team even footing to go for the retake, but the weaponry still pales in comparison to that of BESTIA. The Galil chips away PKL. It's Lukowski and VSM Scout and Deagle. At this point, VSM could maybe grab the Scout and head to the hills with that in hand, but they might even hazard a go at it as well. All three here up close and personal. The player up top of Dark. Belabored spray, but it gets the job done, and Myron is there to support and catch out the scouting player. 3 players survive. I believe that's all 3 rifles staying in the game as well for BESTIA. And that is a solid start for them on their map pick.
I don't like the last 2 players going for the fights. Save your armor, your scout, and your deeg. You can do much more damage with that in the next round than you could on that retake. With no kit, that retake has almost 0 chance of success. And now they have nothing to fight with. They have a couple upgraded pistols, but you have the upgraded pistols around armor, a 5.7, and a scout. It's a lot more lethal than just unarmored pistols across the board.
Give yourself some teeth, you know? Don't make it just P250s. Make it 5.7s, P250s, and a couple players with Kevlar. A little nasty surprise.
They had to fight, but they don't anymore.
Yeah, exactly. There's something. They could find 1 or 2 up close and personal, but they stand far less a chance. 3 players are spotted towards B there. BESTIA will fall back and then re-aggress. They look very comfortable on this map thus far, but you have yet to see any real challenge from Fluxo in terms of riflery. Next round is where we really get to see the true battle of this BESTIA T side. Did luchov just spam a smoke and get a kill? Or no, it was a PKL catching luchov, excuse me. It's an interesting start for that pistol buy.
An interesting start indeed. With a little bit of that bite. Of course, we're not saying it's not going to happen. You just give yourself a better probability of it. That's a great read, though, by BESTIA to book it over towards B. Only 1 player here. No stall utility to be used either for this. Chay gets hit with the smoke. It'll still bloom and top. And he's going to push on through, look for some damage. All this damage coming in towards the defease. The bomb goes down, and tomaszin with something from nothing to grab an extra level this out. But the lack of HP for the BESTIA 2 really making things likely. tomaszin 1v1 full HP, no armor, headshot not needed for him. He gets the body shot and the AK plus the round. Fluxo just spamming pistols at all directions. Get the damage done. And a nice little retake and an eco round victory for the Brazilians. That will give them some life and a much needed injection. And Zevi goes straight for the op. Of course he does. That turns the tide.
They shut our discussion right down. We said, give yourself some teeth. You're effectively neutered in this one. You should have no chance. And yet here they come. Lots of spam through smoke. I think at least 2 kills came through smoke. The opener and then I think one in the post point. Too. Yeah, a lot of damage. It looked like a grenade went off, honestly. So much damage was done. Unreal.
There were like 3 players in one-shot range off of that space.
Now, Fluxo's economy is bountiful. You have 4 rifles, including one of those same AKs, top present, and this kind of fight's a little bit surprising for me. PKL going all the way forward where he knows the buy from BESTIA is likely less than ideal. But he won't be punished. He'll be tagged low, but he'll get a kill and fall away. Lukowski, though, is now kind of stuck and marooned. He has support from Chay in terms of utility, but Lukowski's kind of boxed in at this point. They have to fight this together. Okay, only a smoke, no flashes. He'll swing off contact, 1-2. Not quite the straight transfer. It's on Lukowski. We mentioned he's explosive in terms of stats, and he shuts down the round in its entirety. 4 kills in the round, and a swift second from Fluxo to shut down the force by a BESTIA. They are now in the driver's seat of this opening map.
Yeah, Fluxo picking up the momentum. BESTIA on that disadvantaged T side as you would normally consider Inferno, but their T side over 51%, their CT side just under 55%. You would expect more rounds than this for this BESTIA T side. They are getting obliterated by this Fluxo team, which has come alive after a bit of a stumble in the first couple of rounds. Zevi now gets one on the op through smoke. Another smoke kill going the way of Fluxo, who also favor the T side on this map, Nate, so that's something to keep an eye on once we go through to the second half. VSM supporting Lukowski, watching it all middle, bags a brace, and Lukowski himself will not get that kill as VSM swaps over to the USP, and the Espus will grab the next one. Luchov on 9 HP will just eventually go down with the ship, one way or another. Will it be honorable, or will it be fleeing? He goes down with the fight. 3 in a row for Fluxo, and 5 surviving is massive for a CT economy.
5 survived in that round, I believe 4 in the round prior. Very good in terms of building economy. 2 rounds like that back to back. As you can see, it's already looking solid. Chay's the lowest at 2950 after buying full utility. Lukowski's at 6500 in the bank. Already going to be tough to break them. Now BESTIA investing down to the bottom dollar to get these AKs and that utility whenever they can muster. Lukowski is happy to take the fight to his adversaries, pushing all the way down middle. tomaszin in the underpass. Will he find Lukowski? He's wise to his possibility. It's all on timing. Lukowski does get one. tomaszin, though, is quick on the trade. KL, aggressive man. This is a very forward-facing defense, and it is called out. It is punished. Luchov up close towards half-ball banana, unseats the 2 defenders. With a minute 15 left in the round, it's just VSM left to try and pick up the pieces. His Opera must have died middle as well amidst the chaos.
Yep.
At this stage, we're going to see why Inferno is known as a save simulator. VSM's going to grab the op, going to try to head for the hills. The question is, will BESTIA be inclined to hunt him down? They probably shouldn't. No matter what, it's going to be a buy in the following. The op is expensive, but they also don't have much money to work with. tomaszin, kind of hunting, but more so given the kill. As VSM walks into the crosshair, BESTIA making quick work of that one.
That's the double-edged sword that is an aggressive defense. You can win good rounds, and you can also be obliterated in them as well, and give your opposition that injection of momentum that can turn the tide again. It's been back and forth, 3-3 through the first quarter of this game. But overall, BESTIA's T side has only won 1 gun round. Fluxo has also only won 1 gun round. It's been a weird situation where there's been anti-force buys and pistol round for BESTIA and then that eco round for Fluxo. Neither team really able to consistently win on the guns just yet. They haven't been out for too long. But I do like this change for Fluxo.
Yeah, Fluxo more respectful. You're doing away with that aggressive posture. There's still people top banana, but they aren't jumping around car with utility in hand like they were in that round prior. They're instead setting up for brackets. 2 towards porch. Flash, smoke comes in. Push. 2 players. Naz was blind by his own flash. VSM is given 2 as a result. tomaszin has gotten outbid. Do they know it's a possibility? Yes is the answer. VSM found a third, but tomaszin is looking to put the team on his back. Finds 2, nearly a third. He does get it. The FAMAS is taken down, and the player towards lane is low. tomaszin could pull off this 1 versus 5. This is the skill jump, and is finally unseated. The Juggernaut taken down. tomaszin, though, with no support, finds 3.
That's incredible from tomaszin. Doing so much damage. Just shy of creating a miracle round for BESTIA, who called the timeout. But that is a whale of an individual effort right there. And that's got to spur individuals on the team to really show up. Because also, take a glance at the kill counts for BESTIA right now. Let's leave tomaszin for last. 1 for Myron, 2 for both Naz and Noctisy, 6 for Luchov, 12 for tomaszin.
Top of the server, not just his team.
No, but the kills are much more... Well, there's more kills overall on Fluxo. But you got a guy on 1 and 2 guys on 2 kills? That's a problem.
2 being rather quiet. And now their star players on only a Tech 9 while everybody else has rifles.
That's also a problem.
Although if you're jumping out of apartments, I think the Tech 9 is more well-suited than an AK.
But he's the furthest player back in alt mid.
It's true. Fluxo looking to reestablish their economic dynasty in a round like this. This cobbled together forest buy. It's pretty decent, all things considered, but a little light on utility. A Galil and a Tech 9. And a lot of space being given as well. Fluxo all the way down banana. or PKL, excuse me, getting set up in the corner. He will eventually fall back, but that's a lot of information. It allows his teammate to rotate around to bolster this A-side defense, and it's a right read from Fluxo. Again, they shut them down here. It'll be easy goings in round number 9. Up on site, caught between two. Lukowski and VSM, though, catch off with kills of their own, and another for Chay. Nazi lines up 2, but Chay is the one to shut it all down. 3 total in the round for him. He'll grab an AK. He won't grab the op. They'll leave that on the ground. Fluxo have secured a 5th, and off the back of it, they should also find a 6th.
Yeah, there's going to be minimal resistance from BESTIA in round number 9. Glocks, maybe P250, Tech 9 Deagle across, and they've called a timeout going into a pistol round.
Is that 2 timeouts in a row?
It is.
That's interesting.
On multiple fronts. 1, 2 timeouts in a row, very rarely called. Especially this early in a game. 2, into a Glock round?
We also, I think, never saw a timeout in the first half yesterday.
No.
It was always towards the end of the game. So I'm happy to see them using them more proactively. But 2 in a row and going into a pistol, yeah. Unless the coach had a sudden killer read he made off of that last round, maybe that play towards banana could be it.
They've gone for a half buy.
They have the loss bonus.
Yeah, but it's still hard to justify a force or a half or a timeout in particular for all that. And they still got players in spawn. 20 seconds into the round.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused.
I think BESTIA are too.
Are they boosted on each other? Okay, no. One player got top of a half wall. See. A lot of different setups coming in from Fluxo. They leave one down bottom banana to fall back. They double up towards half wall. One plays car, one plays sandbag corner. We've seen the porch boost. We've seen a lot of different looks from Fluxo, and I think that's throwing BESTIA for a loop. I don't really know what to expect from this CT defense. You just have to know anything's a possibility. Zevi now probing in towards towards boiler, excuse me. That I don't think we've seen as of yet either. A lot of different plays, but BESTIA go for the no-nonsense. First out middle in apartments. 1 secured, 2 secured, a 3rd secured, a 4th not quite. Noxie combines now with tomaszin, the final pair coming up towards lane. They have an A1S at least, but the crunch is coming in from bottom middle. This should be the round done and dust. tomaszin 1 for 1, and Lukowski puts down Noxie with no resistance. 6-3, exactly what we'd expect. No bomb plant. 1 or 2 kills off the back of a half buy, but still relatively smooth sailing for Fluxo.
Very relatively smooth sailing. That's good dealing with the flashbangs as well. Fluxo doing well to play off of each other too, especially around those A-side angles. And we're seeing every individual on Fluxo for the most part. PKL hasn't really had too much to do in the last few rounds, but in general, we've seen a round from VSM, we've seen a round from Zevi, we've seen a round from Chay, we've seen a round from Lukowski. They're all stepping up individually. So far for BESTIA, it's pretty much just been tomaszin. Luchov had a couple of kills, but for the most part, again, just tomaszin and tomaszin and tomaszin again. They need to have more support, and they're not getting it on the T side, where you have Fluxo with a 60% win rate on the T side. Coming up, hold up. Noxie and Luchov with a couple big entries. PKL still here. It's his turn to try and make a round out of it, but he gets caught on his retreat to U-Box. VSM out towards the A site. tomaszin catches him on lurk, and Zevi now stuck over in CT. Between the proverbial frying pan and fire, and he's about to get clocked. Flawless for BESTIA. So we get to the last 2 rounds of the half. That's a big boost for them, and they get a big round from Noxie.
We said the individuals need to wake up, and there's 5 duels won and 0 lost. Maybe a sign that BESTIA are finally emerging individually and arriving into the server. Tomaszin, that double on the lurk. That's what his position is really meant for. Always go apartments, always catch the rotation, be a harassing thorn in the side of your adversary. And Fluxo, one of the first times in quite a while they haven't gone aggressive banana. They're punished for it quickly. And unlike earlier on in the series, Fluxo had not built up that bank behind them. Because of that catastrophic defeat in round number 10, they're going to be on 1 hero rifle and 4 half-buys, 4 pistols. That BSM hasn't invested $1. BESTIA, what's going on? What are you doing? Hop around and spawn? Maybe a tech?
I think we're gonna get. Yeah, we're definitely getting a.
There we go.
Yep. There we are. Wonder what the issue was, or is.
In the bomb, dropping some more random.
That could be.
It's not like it's a disconnection. Maybe a ping loss. Or a loss issue, or a ping.
Question on that: have you been getting random packet loss when you play?
So, that's a good question because I don't know. So, do you know if private matchmaking uses Valve servers?
Like,
there's a private button. So my friends and I have been doing 10-mans using the private function in Counter-Strike.
I would assume that it does.
Okay, so if it uses Valve servers, then yes, I got random packet loss yesterday.
Because I've been getting random packet loss in Premiere for like 3 weeks straight.
There might be a packet loss issue then.
And I'm not the only one.
We were getting, it was not only me, it was a couple of my friends yesterday. We were doing 10-mans. We were getting packet loss.
It's not all the time, but it happens every once in a while, right?
It's sporadic. It's like a couple rounds or a round or two.
And it's not for like the entire round. It just like shows up for about 15, 20 seconds and then goes away.
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe there is an issue.
Maybe.
Match Medic, I think, is concluded.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Maybe it was just a packet loss thing.
Could have very well, but it looked like people were typing. Maybe multiple people experienced packet loss or something of the sort. We're back into the action. It's the exact same buy that we saw before. Half buy or save.
Lukowski's all in.
He was all in last time too.
I think I overlooked that then.
There was 1 hero rifle and 4 half buys. VSM didn't invest a penny. Yeah, this is what it was.
That's always nice to see when teams actually do respect the medic and make the same buy purchase.
It is. It's nice to see Lukowski. Honestly, the hero rifle in round number 11, they're going to have a compromised buy no matter what in the following. Give yourself some teeth and a chance in this round, I guess, is the call.
And save Simid if they don't go B.
Yeah. I can see it working, but
yeah.
Regardless, it's going to be difficult.
Well, that ended well.
Disconnect?
No, he did. Oh, wait, there's a disconnect on BESTIA.
Disconnect.
But did the kill come through first?
I'm not sure what's going on. It looks like there might be a HUD issue. We're going to come back to the casters after this round to fix the HUD, of course. As we always do.
Yep.
But it is a 4 versus 4 as far as I can tell. Or is it 4 versus 5? Not sure. Regardless, good job entering in. It's the pistol up top of Cold Box to find one in response. But Tomaszin, quick on the trade, bomb on his back. It'll hit dirt. A 5th at this point. Going to go the way of BESTIA. PKL, as you mentioned. Gonna sit on B with the op, or with the AK, or op, AK, M4. There we go. We got it. It was Lukowski with the M4.
I'm just glad he didn't say Galila from Oz first.
Not gonna say those weapons.
I mean, the Galila is essentially an $1,800 A4, but
kind of. She's a little slower.
It's just worse.
I don't know if PKL will be allowed to save though.
Yeah, they're hunting. I think it's a good call. They've got money. No save for PKL. Chay's got it now, and will he survive? Got about 7 seconds. 15 rounds. 3 more contacts, 2. And I think Chay's done it, yeah. Well done by Chay to get out of there alive.
Yep, and I believe we're coming back to cams. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be here for like 3 or so seconds while that HUD gets updated and back squared away. It looks like whoever disconnected is back in the server, so it should be a very brief moment on the face cams, and then we'll be right back into that final round of the first half. Here we go. And this is a chance for BESTIA to tie things up at 6 a pop, but as you mentioned, Fluxo, they're a T-sided team when it comes to Inferno.
They are a T-sided team. Very heavy at that. The Molotov forces PKL into the fight. He does a good amount of damage, but it's not enough for the kill. Noctisy will win that one instead. Tomaszin through the smoke, 1 for 1. But still a man advantage to BESTIA as of now. VSM, that smoke will fade shortly. He's got to be careful. Backstab again! A second player through the smoke. Smokes aren't walls. And Naz reminds VSM of that all-important fact as the bomb makes its way through apps. Look at Noctisy's position over on B, though. He's pushing into CT spawn behind. Chay and Luchov are unaware of this. They're going to get caught, certain. Never mind, Chay's checked it. Luchov as well. Maybe a step is heard, something. Or maybe they only saw 3 contact on A. Still a 2v3 retake, not the easiest. They do not have a kit. 1 Molotov, 1 flash, 1 HE. Molly into sight. Nade follows up, flash goes high, Meyer not blinded by any, Molly on lane, and Meyer with a double spray down to get a 6-6 half, as we'll see you after the break.
Keep your picture in my room, 'cause it gets me in the mood. You're still free in my head. You got me so confused. My mind is full of you. Still want you in my room. Don't wanna get rid of you. On my mind when I am up too late. You got me so confused. My head is full of you. I'll keep your picture in my room, 'cause it gets me in the mood. You're still free in my head. You got me so confused. My mind is full of you. Still want you in my room. Don't wanna get rid of you. On my mind when I am up too late. You got me so confused. My head is full of you.
Don't you think like that? I will love you endlessly. If you only believe in me, don't you be like that? I will love you forever. If you only believe in me, yeah. Don't you think like that? I will love you endlessly. If you only believe in me, don't you be like that? I will love you forever.
Neck and neck, Fluxo and BESTIA, both ready and eager to take the opening map of this series. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bring you the action. Fluxo, Starting things off on the CT side, that was their pick. Now they're on that T side, as you mentioned, slightly favored on this side of the map. They're going for a very hefty investment. 3 sets of utility on this T side. Perhaps the pistol round intricacies will continue for the Fluxo side.
Well, Bestia's going down banana. That could lead to an opening pick for Fluxo. Lucauzi burns down low, but there is the man advantage for the Brazilian squad. This Brazil-Argentina matchup, Luchov takes shots down range, has to retreat for fear of being overwhelmed. Luchov almost abandoning the B side of things, and
It's an empty site.
yeah. The number 5 with the bomb isn't actually there. I think there's another HUD issue, so we might have to go back to cams after this round or soon. But the bomb should be making its way onto site now. It's down and planted. No kit for the CTs does lead to a problem here, Nate, because the retake needs to be that much faster.
Yes, it does. Fun fact number 5, I believe, is the coach. So that's probably why it's glitched out in spawn.
I think 1 is the coach, because there hasn't been a 1 for Fluxo the entire game.
Either way,
Holy.
it's a complete collapse of the defense. A walk in, this very on the back foot hold in towards dark and firebox is unseated entirely. I thought we had a moment to talk and conjecture. Clearly not the case. Bestia ready to press in. They get the defuse as well. It was a slow start and a fiery end in that retake. Again, as we mentioned, back to the cams, gonna hard reset that HUD, and then we should have everything fixed and ready to go. I remember, when was it, like a couple of weeks ago, even a couple months ago, it would take forever, and in fact, it would almost often be impossible to fix the HUD. So,
Yeah. I mean, it's always when a DC happens, too. It's been like that even back in Go. So, it's nothing new. HUD will do what HUD will do.
that's what happens. Galils for Chay, Lucauzi, PKL, Deagle for VSM, Scout for Zevi. They might have lost the round, but they got the bomb plant, and that facilitates a very scary investment for the second round of the half. Scary for Bestia, at least. Bestia. Heavy-handed with the SMGs, 3 MP9s, tomaszin and M4 to round it out. No kit, again. They already used a good amount of their utility as well. Fluxo. Gonna have a good opportunity to go for and execute. Just have to hit their shots, and the round could be theirs.
Fluxo hitting shots isn't too far from their normal. VSM with the Deagle, primed for a peek, but nobody will swing him. Now starting to go and move on his own volition. Here's the nade land towards lane, knows somebody's on site A proper. Counter nade down towards B, does a good amount of damage. Now VSM has been spotted. Zevi's scout opens it up though, and that creates a little bit of space and forces a rotation over from B. It's going to be a gamble stack A from Bestia, and this could be the read that gives them that edge. In map number 1, they're stacking the right side. In they go, but Lucauzi still wins the fight. Chay as well comes through. Naz has help with Luchov. The nade converts, but Luchov and Naz, the last two standing as Fluxo push their way in. So close and yet so far for VSM's Deagle. Now Luchov picks a second despite his low HP. Zevi, one shot himself, stuck in pit. Time's
No
up!
time!
I didn't even realize it.
What an awkward end to an inopportune round. I felt like Fluxo lost that round off the Deagle. I'm going to say it point blank.
Yep.
That Deagle towards Graveyard should have the 1D 10 times out of 10. A little bit impatient, though. Probably looked at the clock and panicked. We didn't do that until far later, so good on him. But still, the low HP made that MP9 a shredder in towards sight, and it would have taken them probably at least another 20 seconds to safely clear that player out. Very well done from Bestia to play time. Again, you mentioned it, the gusto to go for the stack towards A. Very well read by this Bestia defense. And it pulls a tack pause out of Fluxo early as their economy has now been sent off kilter. Two players very low, Zevi and Lucauzi at 450 and 350 a pop. It almost necessitates another reinvestment from this offense.
Yeah, that Deagle could have been so much better for Fluxo without that Deagle. Now they're back on the force. Of course, they have to force around at 2 players surviving with negligible economy and no loss bonus due to surviving after time. Naz eats a nade early. Luchov going for that little aggression down banana, but there is no trade back yet from the T's. Now they eat a little bit of damage up on banana. And Luchov runs right into a Tech 9. That's going to be an easy kill for Chay, who's going to go for the jump, and he has Naz too! Highest jumping accuracy in the game for the 3rd kill of the round for Chay! He turns a Tech 9 MP9 upgrade into a 3-piece and a B site open. Noxy tries it, but Chay slaps him down. He's on for the ace. Probably won't get it as Myron's been contacted out towards brackets. But Chay has gone insane to single-handedly grab a round for Fluxo. And it wasn't necessarily flush. He's got the ace! Chay's got the ace! He hunts it down! And that is why I wanted to highlight him in the pre-show. This kid is good.
An insane line. Finding the first who's jumping in the smoke towards top banana. Goes for the jump peek onto the A1S. Scales forward at the perfect time to slip the gap by the MP9. Holds the smoke for the 4th. And with no regard and no respect, runs it down CT spawn to find the 5th. Take a bow, Chay. That is a way to bring your team back into it. A way to rally your team around you. They still trail by 1, but Bestia's economy has now been sent asunder. 5 7s and 1 MP9, no kit, a little bit of utility. We've seen the 5 7s do damage, but again, Chay hitting shots as he is, winning this round, seems like a very, very slim possibility.
Well, if Fluxo can do it with a worse buy, maybe Bestia can do it with the 5 7s and the MP9. Probably don't want to give Chay another one of those, but he's got the A1S, so I don't think he'll be downgrading per se. That's definitely going to be a highlight to go back and look at, though. That was so well done. But now it's Noxy's turn to try and do it with the MP9, Luchov, Naz, and the rest. 5 7s. 4 stack over towards the A site. They've played the numbers game right. Fluxo are walking in. That's a well-placed Molotov, though. Forces the one out. Through the smoke, this could be deadly. And not for the CTs. Oh, that's a nice one from Zevi, though. It's the MP9. Arguably best gun in the game, according to Vu. At least a while ago. I don't disagree. It's busted.
That also drops the 1 MP9 that the CT's had. Iron in the apartment's not long for this world. The second pair on site will get one by virtue of a crossfire, but nothing more. Zevi doesn't even upgrade. Doesn't get the chance to. There was an A1S down on site. Doesn't get it.
Well, he doesn't need it. They're going to be broke and they know it.
It's fair. 8 to 8, likely 9 to 8. Fluxo looking to reestablish control. And again, this is Bestia's map pick. They changed it up from yesterday. They went for the overpass pick. Were punished 13-2. That is an NA nade if I've ever seen one. And aggression down middle is the call. Naz gets 1, excuse me. But only 1. Tomaszin, the last alive in towards Boiler, is known. Should not be long for this world. The USP shouldn't get anything. 9 all but certain. Comes in, nothing. Lukowski gets the kill. AK bottom mid won't be recovered, but again, the MP9 is a menace, especially in Zevi's hands. This T economy already running wild. This might be all that Fluxo need to send Bestia packing towards Nuke.
And that was about exactly what I was going to bring up. Nuke is map number 2. Yeah, Bestia got cooked on Overpass, but it still was not pretty for them on Nuke. The map pick of Fluxo. But with Luchowski and Chay playing the way they are, VSM as well, Zevi's had his moments, only TPL really hasn't had that much impact. Luchov doubles up, however, from Gar, and that turns things spiraling back to Bestia's favor. 2 early picks inside the first 20 seconds, And that's an absolute boon for a BESTIA team, watching their map pick slip so precariously out of their fingers. Feel like they've caught it right before the edge of the cliff. They're still teetering there at the edge, but they should be safe for now unless there's something special from the remaining 3 of Fluxo. They're going into a weaker B site. They do have an op and a decent amount of utility. They can get the site fast. There is the low HP Naz too. You could realistically hold this down. There's no retake utility at all for BESTIA. And in Save Simulator on Inferno, no money left over. Even 3-4 kills would be huge for Fluxo given their massive bank accounts. It's not a great situation to be in for the CTs at all.
No, keep it clean. That's the main goal at this point. Naz, even on low HP, should be good for at least 1 in this spot. We haven't really seen it as of yet. Tomaszin is here in quick rotation as well, as required. The take will come through. Smoke towards CT. Some Molotovs lined up for side as well. The op's going to be unwieldy in this kind of site take. Tomaszin is rotating around towards Coffin. Here comes the swing. Op staying banana. Player in dark, unseated. Second player towards boost, taken down. And the third, and the smoke is just outright shutout. That is the cleanest of clean takes that you could ever see. And we said Fluxo would have a hard time getting in. They make light work of it. Just Myron and Noxy left to retake. 1 banana, 1 CT, but they need this round at this point. They're out of rope. They're out of time. If they lose this round, it's going to be 10, likely 11. From there, a hop and a skip to victory for Fluxo. Player dark, spotted and tagged, but time is too far gone. Myron and Noxy know it. They're headed for the hills. They're calling this one quits, and Fluxo steal away the 10th.
Lukowski and VSM with support utility from the op. He said the op's unwieldy, so what do they do with it? Have it be artillery. Throw the util. Let the rifles go do their job. Take care of the low HP player. Take care of the guy dark, and then the spray through the smoke really puts the final nail on that round. At that point, with no retake utility, just the 2 flashbangs, no kit, BESTIA have no choice but to save. And Fluxo within 3 rounds of taking away the map pick of BESTIA and setting up a rematch with Made in Brazil. Spoiler alert, Made in Brazil are probably going to pick Vertigo there. Just going to put that out there because it crossed my mind.
Probably.
It's a half buy, Nate. 5-7s, minimal utility, 4 smokes and an HE, 5 smokes and an AG. At this point, sell your smokes, run your pistols down mid. Get cheeky.
Some aggressive posturing in apartments, maybe.
They're stacking B.
Can't say I hate it. So they found their 2 openers and where the round ended last round. One rifle A, 1 rifle B, double stack towards close brackets, and a nice little cheeky boost over half wall banana. Fluxo, though, are wise to the fact that their opponents are destitute. They're going to play slow. That won't stop Tomaszin, though. He's had a solid map. He slowed down a little bit, but he's still having that impact, still getting his kills. He'll open things up towards brackets. VSM will scrupulously throw that AK out of the map. Not out of the map, but out of reach for the time being. Smoke banana will compel these players back towards A. It's only 2 defenders here. They're spread thin. Iron and Naz going to be tested. Fluxo inch forward.
Well, they won with 3v5 and against far superior firepower. Who's to say they can't win 4v5, although time may become their enemy very quickly. Down 25 seconds to go, in they push. Smoke's going out towards Library and around. Chay makes some contact, takes some damage, pushes into the side, scaling forward. 15 seconds to get that bomb down. They gotta go, and they gotta go fast! Oh, and on site, Naz only good for 1. TKL trades out Chay. Zevy's op strikes for 1. VSM hits the dirt, tags down Myron. But here comes the kills for the rest of BESTIA, and they pull this one back. Fluxo take too much time. They have to rush the take in the end, and they get caught by the pistols and the rotations of the CT side. 10-9. BESTIA back in action.
BESTIA back in action. BESTIA with a second wind. Perhaps they have what it takes to win this first, to give themselves a better standing with which to work heading into map number 2. We said it was a do or die on map number 1. BESTIA, either leave your mark on Inferno or resign yourselves to a 2-0 loss. They aren't keen on that 2-0 loss. Chay starts things off though for Fluxo. Boosted up Banana in the Flames. She takes a lot of damage, as does PKL, but they find the opening nonetheless. Continue to probe forward, at least or Chay will. Rest of the squad going back to their default middle. BESTIA. A little bit of a harsh over rotation, but it's quickly rectified. A player coming back towards the middle, and this is going to be Fluxo's undoing. They've been read perfectly. Myron doubles, a third towards Arch Cubby, and the op as well chiming in from Noxy. Feels like Fluxo have been boxed in and don't stand much of a chance unless they can really aim their way out of this.
This time from tomaszin, just Chay and VSM trying to make their way through. That's one, but the op on site and tomazin's AK tie us up at 10. The money is there for an investment from Fluxo. PKL is low on cash, but he has had next to no impact in the last 15 or so rounds of this game. And for BESTIA, they survive with 4. They've picked up the extra, or they have one up. Noxy has one. He's doubled on the HUD, so we have another disconnect on the BESTIA side of things. But how does Myron get 2 out of that and not get traded?
Gets 2 and gets away.
Yeah, how does he get 2 and back away? He's got to get traded there.
Not sure. BESTIA, though, are making the right reads. They're rotating around. They're not overextending. They're combining fire. They're just playing their defense incredibly well. Technical pause, as Boggs mentioned. I think someone has disconnected.
Yep.
Hopefully this issue will be rectified sooner rather than later.
luchov from the looks of it.
Yeah. On that CT side. Unless we somehow have 2 different Noxies, one with 1 less killed than the other.
I didn't even notice that. Look at the amount of money, too. Completely different. ADR is different.
I think it's from the round prior.
It must be. Well, it looks like this is going to be a minute, so you get to look at us.
Oh, he's back. I just saw him reconnect. They're just resetting the HUD.
Yep. Should
As always. No, it should be a couple seconds, of course, assuming Luchov's connection is stable. If not, then who knows how long it'll be. But hopefully we'll have this conclusion sooner rather than later. This has been a barn burner of a map, though. We said Fluxo should have a solid standing on it. We said it should be T-sided, yet BESTIA holding their own and then some on this defense. They're looking incredibly good. They're looking like a different team from what we saw yesterday.
Yes, a very different team. A team that is going pound for pound, not getting out of the game mentally, and playing off of each other well. The individuals are also stepping up, and as we get back in the game for round 21, we see them with a good amount of money left over. Fluxo buying down to the bottom of the barrel, which is very favorable for BESTIA if they can put this one to bed. That gives them almost a free 12th and double map point on their pick, which we said was a pretty necessary one for the Argentines. For Fluxo, however, a win still sees BESTIA on another bye. Every round they get closer to OT makes their chances of victory better. Chay's got the opener, though, as he has been the guardian of that banana push. The CTs aggress, and Chay meets them with a flurry of bullets. Off the back of that kill, Fluxo are working into A, which is still fully staffed. 3 players here, no extra rotations, and Noxy with the op shot through that smoke. Oh, that's a great leveler for BESTIA, but a massive blow to take for Fluxo. However, tomaszin met by Zevi, and now a 2-man hold. Now just one as VSM catches Myron in rotation. Naz will not have a gap to that smoke. He'll try to push it. Do they watch it? They've learned. They hear it. And Zevi will not be undone. Just Noxy left alone. And what can he do? Pushing in behind. The op versus op is won by BESTIA. But I don't think this is a round that their opper can try to reasonably win on his own.
He shouldn't go for it. There should be no way. They'll have enough money to buy in the following, as you mentioned, but they won't be able to afford an op, so it would behoove him to save it. He's walking mid. Walks into the angle. Free one for VSM. That's the kill secured. And it's going to highlight at the start of the round. What a kill for Chay to find. BESTIA put so much emphasis on Banana. 3 players there. 3 suites of utility being expended. We're talking multiple smokes, multiple Molotovs, multiple grenades. And yet Chay still gets the kill and still gets away. There was about a minute left in the round and no smokes left for BESTIA. Nothing for them to use to stall for time or buy time for a rotation. That was a huge kill, and just one alone is enough to put BESTIA far enough on the back foot to lose that one. You can tell, it got to a point where they're literally just swinging smokes on a timing in hopes of finding kills. That's how desperate they got due to their lack of utility.
And they've done that a lot, too, throughout this series. And Luchov burns alive to PKL's Molly. Noxy gets one with that off, so it's 4v4 now, but what can he really do? So he has to back away. Solo the B side. That's an awkward spot to be for an opper.
It's awkward, but doable.
It's doable, but there's flashes.
There are, but... Flash the player playing close sight on that angle. No. However, Noxy falls back from it as I say that. I'm gonna play a spot where he doesn't get blinded. That's the whole call here. There isn't a Molotov for information. We'll buy time, and there is eventually a rotation to come through. It's Naz. He's at a quiet end of this map. He was only an MP9. Fluxo get ahead of him. The op of Noxy has to do it all. He's found one. Spotted a second, can't quite get the flick, and now his back's truly against the wall. VSM finds one. They know the MP9's close. Lukowski's the one to find him through the smoke. And this should be Fluxo securing map point on their adversary's map pick. Zevi through the smoke for good measured up tomaszin. Myron spotted headed for the hills. And 12 is a certainty at this point. The only question is, will Myron be allowed to save this A1S?
Allowed is the best way to put it, because Lukowski's already on the prowl, trying to shut down the save with this M4 to really hamstring BESTIA. Myron reads it well, and so Lukowski gets side swiped with that M4 headshot. Now I don't think VSM or Zevi will go for the hunt here. Myron should be able to save, but it's double map points for Fluxo on their opponent's pick. Not quite the 13-2 from Overpass yesterday between these two teams, but still, doesn't matter how you do it. The win is the win, and it's Fluxo's map pick up next. BESTIA have to dig as deep as they possibly can to find something to push forth. Try to bring this to overtime. This buy, far from ideal. The Deagle, the MP9s, the FAMAS, and the M4 saved by Myron. And the smoke play works for Zevi, and not for Luchov. Lukowski now onto the M4 down on the ground, and he'll get a second as well. Just Noxy and Naz, the last two alive. The Opper's got a Deeg, the Rifler on a FAMAS. Doesn't get much worse than that.
Desperate. Naz, that FAMAS. Have to be big on B if they choose to go for it, but looks like they're more inclined to fight towards middle. Noxy has the MP9 closer on the smoke. He finds the op that's greedy, and PKL through the smoke. Not even the player close required. Zevi would have gotten that kill if the spam wasn't quite so lucky. Fluxo, waiting for any information. Actually looks like they're going back towards B. They might have heard Naz rotating. She's just one going towards B. Just Chay getting control. Bomb will migrate now. The information's there. Naz, though, 1v4 just does not seem possible. Walking in towards church. gonna be smoked off. Greeted by that one. Flashed as well. If Chay doesn't have him, a spam most certainly will. Walking to smoke, spotted, and dead to rights. Chay gets him from above. It was a back and forth opening map where BESTIA had to put their best foot forward, and unfortunately, they fall short. 10-13 on their map pick, as they are now sent spiraling towards Nuke, the map that they lost rather convincingly yesterday.
It all starts with the lack of rounds they got.